mic just a little bit. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to know if you guys can hear me okay. That's good. Go right on out. Hi, Tracy. Good evening. That's causing that. How's everybody doing? Hi, Sissy. How are you, love? It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. I haven't seen you in forever. I'm having a little trouble with my YouTube, as always. I tried to do both. My new book I'm going to start reading, The Body Keeps the Score. It's talking about how our body... Oops. Not yet. No, don't end. I wasn't going to do that. How our body responds to trauma. Absolutely amazing. So let's see. Here we go. I think that makes the lighting a little bit better. It's hard because then I'm either looking at one screen or the other. Never at both screens. I haven't quite figured this out yet. Sissy, can you hear me okay? It's good to see you too. It's really good to see you. Okay, we got both going. Very excited that we have both going. Getting a little better at this every day. It's very hot. I haven't gotten my air conditioning set up yet. I have a fan on me. I'm drinking warm tea, which doesn't help, but it keeps me calm. How have you been, Sissy? It's so good to see you. So good to see you. If you guys could please start sharing the like out. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things, mostly dreams and dream interpretation today. If you think there's somebody who would enjoy listening to this, but more than dream interpretation, I'm going to talk about meditation on dreams and the process I've learned that has helped me through my journey of darkness. So if you guys could just share the like out and hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. We're going to get started here in just a few moments. It's so good to see everybody. I'm calmer tonight. So one of the things that I had to do, this is my third live. Well, as Sissy knows, I used to do them all the time. And I had some trauma around those. So this is my third live since going back doing my own lives. I'm doing them every Thursday night. So welcome to Tea with CJ Berry. And the energy was not okay. So I just finished my meditation. I don't know if you can, it's on this side. I'm leaning the wrong way. No, you can see it over here. A little bit of a gift over here. So our meditation going on. And I feel so much at peace now. Meditation is such a powerful tool. And we're going to get into a little bit deeper here in just a moment. While we're waiting to get started, I'd like to talk a little bit about my books. One has been released. It is In Dreams the Soul Cries, Seeds of Tears, and it's a prelude to my upcoming book. So Seeds of Tears is available on Kindle Vella. You can find it on Kindle Vella. If you just type it in, I'll pop right up. And it has the same logo as my logo right now, my little thumbnail here right now. So it has the same logo as that on Kindle, and you will be able to see on there that those chapters are released weekly. There's one chapter now. The second one is set to be released on Sunday. And then every Sunday after that until the beginning of July. In July, my second book will be coming out and it's pre-sale right now on ebook, but it'll also be coming out on paperback. And it's the second in the series. Well, it's the first in the series because the prelude is on there now. Is In Dreams the Soul Cries, A River of Darkness. And we're going to be getting into a little bit of that today because In Dreams the Soul Cries, A River of Darkness is my own journey. Well, they're both my own journey. Seeds of Tears is my journey as a child and some of the things that, the negativities I instilled without even knowing it as a child, or that were instilled for me in my thought process. And a river of tears is, well, it's the darkness I walked through to get to where I'm at today, to find some sort of peace in my life. And it's just the beginning of my journey. I know that. So I would just like to say welcome to everybody here today, and thank you for joining us. And we're going to get started. One of the first things I'd like to say is that we have a contest going on for those who have liked my book, who have followed my book, Seeds of Tears, and are reading those chapter by chapter, to make posts and tag me in it about that book as you go. And then same to pre-sale. If you're going to get the digital, pre-sale of the digital, or when you purchase it, to get a picture of that and to post that. Once you've posted those, make sure you tag me in them, because I'm going to do a drawing. I have a beautiful book that is a spiritual guide and date book that's going to be going out, along with my favorite book. I will show you right now. I have it here behind me. My favorite book is by Heatherish Amara, Warrior Goddess Training. Don't get fooled by the goddess. Men can read it as well. This is what started me on my healing journey. So this will be part of it, along with a bunch of other things. So I look forward to sending that out to somebody. So hi Todd, good evening, welcome. It's good to see you. I thought I saw I Am the Bear in here as well. I just want to make sure she is in here before I get started. Hi Tim the Man, how are you? Oh, Mothman, how are you? It's good to see you. Welcome. Thank you. Also, if you guys have a question, if you could type that in, I will try and see them. If you let's put the butterfly emoji next to your questions at the beginning of them, so I can see it. Okay, I'm thinking that will probably help me the most, is to put the butterfly emoji. I apologize because I know I am starting to sweat a little bit. I really need to get my swamp cooler going, because I am refusing to run the air conditioning. So swamp cooler will be going. So welcome everybody. My name is CJ Berry, author, content creator, and spiritual friend. I do not know what I'm doing. I'm learning along the way, and I welcome you to join me on this journey. So without further ado, or with further ado, I don't know what a do is, do you? I don't. Let's get started. One of the things that I want to talk about is my process of going from dreams. I've had dreams my whole life since I was a little girl, dreams and nightmares. I'm always told that, oh, you're creative. It's just your creative soul. That's why you have dreams and why you have nightmares. And it's so much more than being a creative soul. It is a learning process. It is a learning to, it's a conversation with yourself is what it is what our dreams are. So as we look into that, I'm going to share with you my process. One of my next projects, hopefully before July 7th, is going to be to have an accompanying book that has my process in it, in a little more detail than I'm going to go into today. So personal perspective. When we're going to talk about dreams before we talk about meditation. So I want to touch a little bit on personal perspective. Your personal perspective in life guides your dreams, because it's your experiences, your knowledge, your thought process. But there are some understandings in our civilization, in our social society, that mean something. There are some universal truths as well, but within each social dynamic, there are different truths. And what may be true for one person in their social group or network may not be true for somebody else in their social group or network. So that's very important to keep in mind, that what is true for me may not be true for you. And so dream interpretation and meditation are very personal. So I would like you to take a look at this in a personal perspective. So as I share with you my personal perspective, make sure you realize that you are going to take this internally into your own personal perspective. As we get started, I also saw that Mike just hopped in. Hi, Mike. It's good to see you. Haven't seen you forever. I am seeing some old timers in here that I haven't seen in a while. So is the man in here too? That is awesome. I don't see his. So I don't know why I don't see his. I just see your comment. Tim. So thank you. All right. So as we get going, we're also going to look at sociology. Sociology is my major, and I absolutely love sociology, if I could say it. It's a deep seated understanding of us as humans, of our nature, and what we perceive based on the society around us. And it's so important that we understand that, especially when looking into dreams and dream interpretation. C. Wright Mills is one of the leading sociologists, and he theorized a theory called the social imagination. Social imagination is one of my core social theories that I believe in a lot. I understand it a lot, and I really build upon it a lot. And the social imagination is the theory that we take what we see, what we're told, what we understand in each experience, and we build upon it as building blocks. These building blocks may not be true. These truths may not be true. So, what is true for you, or what is true for me in this moment, in this present, may not be true for me or true for you in another present moment or time, because your perspective may have changed. For an example of that would be as a child, say a child breaks um, their mom's favorite vase, and their mom comes yelling at them like, "I can't believe you broke my favorite vase." The perspective of that child takes at that moment, because of the anger they're receiving, is that they they're not worthy of love, or that they're bad. And so often as a child we take on that, and that's not true. That's not the truth, but that's the perspective of the social imagination that is taken on at that time, that carries with us into adulthood. So as we do that, we need to go deeper into ourselves as we're working in our healing process, to understand that deep-seated healing that needs to take place all the way back to when it was created. Thank you, Mike, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hi, Irish. It's so good to see you. So good. So many of the people I haven't seen in a while are hopping in, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Um, so as we go into that, I'm really hot, so I'm really sorry. I'm like, oh, I don't want that in my videos, but here it is. You guys as well. As we go into that, we have to realize that those create. We explain them in sociology as a lens. It's like putting on a pair of glasses. We put on a pair of glasses, we see things differently. We call them often rose-colored glasses. Oh, she's wearing rose-colored glasses. Well, the reason we say rose-colored glasses is because it's a change of perspective, right? They're seeing everything with love in their eyes. Well, life creates those lenses for us. And as we create them, the lenses may be created by religion, or they may be created by experiences or culture. And all of those things may be true, or they may not be true, how we interpret them based on past experiences. So it's very important that we keep that in mind as we go through dream interpretation. The other thing that is important that's in sociology is echo chamber. The echo chamber perspective is a newer sociological theory, and it's a beautiful one. So the idea is, if I were to go into an echo chamber and I were to say, I don't know, one of my negativities is that I haven't been loved. So it's hard for me. I stuttered on that one. Okay, I'm working on that one. I'm not worthy of love, or I'm unlovable, or that I will never receive love because of I never have. So my dream is to put beauty and love into the world, knowing that this is true. That's not the truth. But as I say it, it echoes back to me and becomes real. It becomes a reality. One thing we have to be careful about with dream interpretation is that as we search on the internet, AI and algorithms become a powerful echo chamber. So, what we say, what I'm saying now, I will start getting a feedback from the social media content on my page and all of that about echo chamber. I will start getting a feedback about dreams and dream interpretation, and it'll stay with my perspective. And my perspective may never open and change, because I become so dependent on these things around me, on these words echoing back at me. So it's very important that as we search things and we're on the internet and stuff, that we keep an open mind, that what we're getting fed back is an echo of what we're putting out. And while that's a good thing, we all appreciate it, right? I keep saying, like, I need a sale on new bed sheets. I need a sale on it. I don't get that ad. But anyway, what comes back to us oftentimes is exactly what we're putting out. And so it's very important that while we have that perspective, that we are limiting ourselves to new perspectives. And so new perspectives, way to do that is just put it in your search engine, ask for new perspectives. You've got to keep an open mind. So as those are things I want you to keep in mind as we dive into dreams and dream interpretation is, one, that it is personal. It's personal to you. Two, that our stories of our past guide our dreams and guide our future. And we need to keep an open perspective of where we're going, setting that goal. Where's our goal heading? Where are we heading in our goals and our dreams and our desires in life? And keep that understanding in mind while we are focusing on our dreams or nightmares that we've had. And the other thing is the echo chamber, that what's echoing back to us may not be our truth. And just keep that in mind and keep that understanding that what's echoing back may not be our truth. And we want to keep our truth and our perspective. So I just welcome you to keep all of those things in mind as we go forward. So one of the biggest things to consider are universal truths. Universal truths, I'm going to use that lightly because universal truths are not always universal. And based on those experiences that we just talked about, can shift and change. So one of the things considered universal truths in dreams is the 5 elements. We have earth, fire, water, air, and space. And wouldn't you know, I forgot to look up space. We're going to leave space for another time. Space was something I've not really researched before. And so I was like kind of surprised at that one. And I was like, I got to dive deep into this. And then gone all together. So we're going to come back to space. Maybe we'll do that together if we have a little bit of time. We also need to keep in mind the other universal truth of our 5 senses. We all have touch, taste, smell, hearing, and sight. Now, those 5 senses are key. Often, sight and hearing are the only 2 that show up in dreams. I have had scent show up in dreams, and I have not had taste show up in a dream. If I have taste show up in a dream, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm diving deep into this one. But we have to keep in mind that we are not just focused on those 5 senses when we're digging into our dreams and dream interpretation and meditation. We're opening ourselves up to the 6th sense, which is consciousness. And consciousness is where we want to go. That's the goal, is to take all of these truths with us into consciousness so we can have a deeper understanding of what is our dream is actually telling us. We so often believe that dreams and nightmares are just, I don't know, something crazy our brain came up with, and it's not. It's a conversation our brain is trying to have with us, and it's important for us to understand that. So as we look at different things, these different truths, let's see. I want to mention another book. I don't have it. It's only on digital, and it is The Perspective Enigma. The Perspective Enigma. I highly recommend The Perspective Enigma. It was over my head. It'll probably be over your head. It talks about consciousness and string theory and the whole interconnection, and why there's things we haven't been able to figure out is because science has been ignoring consciousness. They ignore it, they downplay it, they say it doesn't exist, and now we're finding it does. It really does. And that without it, there are things we cannot solve. And with it, things are solved and understood. So we want to take that into perspective. So as we take those thought processes, keep them in mind. Truths, true for you. Let's take a look at fire. Fire, universal truth of fire is an intensity, control, passion, desire. We know all those things. We use them in poetry all the time, in storytelling, like burning desire. We relate that, cartoons, like they're mad and it's like, whoo, the fire, the flames coming up off their head. And so those some things that we need to keep in mind in our dreams. If we have fire in our dream, we really need to pay attention to that one. As you go through my stories, you'll find smoke, not fire. was a key. It's been key in my dreams throughout my life as a child. Later on in life, that stopped for me. And it stopped for me after I had a past life reading and found out where it was coming from. So I highly encourage that. The second thing is water. Water is emotions just washing over us. It's intuition. It's beautiful subconscious. It's life. It's fertility. It's renewed. It's cleansing. So if there's water in your dream, now I want to take this into a different direction. That all sounds great and beautiful, right? But if you're getting washed away in a flood, that's probably something you need to pay attention to. That, or there's a ocean wave coming at you. Also, your past experiences with water can change your perspective of water in your dreams. If you have a negative experience with water, you may have a negative feeling with water in your dreams that your subconscious is bringing to light. So keep that in mind. What's true for you? Air is creativity. Just the wind blowing and the leaves circling around is just beautiful. It's creative. It's cleansing. It's the springtime, whether we like it or not, especially here in the high desert. The air and the wind has a lot to do with springtime. So the force of the wind, a cool breeze can mean one thing, and a forceful, turbulent, and leaves swirling can mean something completely different. So keep that in mind. It is a fresh look. It's youthfulness. Make sure with air we keep in mind, as with water, temperature. If it's hot, if it's cold, those both mean something different, right? It can mean that, your emotions are freezing up over something, or that it can mean that you're feeling warm and just relaxed in the water and your intuition is coming in and it's just beautiful. Or it can mean it's boiling over and this flood of emotions is just boiling over. Um, Flying and underwater, that's beautiful. So air would have to be air can be creativity and intelligence. I want you to look into the flying of dreams of flying underwater. I love that. It reminds me of the Disney where the whales are flying through the air through space. Todd, I think we're going to have to look into space as well for that one, because it's such a dynamic of flying through water. But definitely let's look deeper into that one. That's beautiful. That really is. Earth, when we look at Earth, we have to remember Earth has so many different components. Earth is a very complex emotion to feel. That's right, love, Fantasia. Very complex emotion to feel in dreams. So things may be dirty and need to be cleaned. And if that's the feeling of dirty or need to be cleaned, then that's something we need to take into account. But oftentimes it can be a child running that's got mud on their toes, and that could be a positive. So it's very complex. So when we look at earth, soil, are you being buried? And that buried could be a good thing and buried could be a bad thing. Is it buried or is it planted? Is it play versus dirty? One of the things about soil and dirt, or something being dirty, can be forgiveness. That there's something in our life we need to clean up. Maybe it's us we need to forgive, or it's other people we need to forgive, or it's a situation we need to let go of. So pay attention if something is dirty in your dreams. The other thing that we need to do is we need to, I got distracted. I apologize. I get distracted so easily. I'm staying calmer. Deep breath. Do you guys hear the sound of bowls? They're calming, aren't they? Sound's very important. Very important. I play sound bowls or water sounds at night when I sleep. It calms me and it keeps my dreams peaceful. Sometimes it helps. Okay, so I want to talk about my spiritual walk through darkness a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't talk about this part very much often. Hi, lady. How are you? It's good to see you here. I don't talk about this part very often, so we're just going to talk briefly about this part of my spiritual walk through darkness. This dream that we're going to discuss today came at an early time in my journey through the dark night of my soul. It was in a very dark place. I was at the point where I was being flooded with emotions. My empathy was in overdrive. I was feeling everything from everyone, and I couldn't make it stop. As I was in this was in the beginning of the lockdown, and I was working full time in the office. I was also recently separated, and one of the women I worked with that was also working in the office, she was recently widowed. It created an awful dynamic between us of understanding and not understanding what the other person was going through, because it is very similar but very different losses at that time. My empathy was in overdrive for her, and I couldn't seem to turn it off. I wanted to turn it off. At the same time, I felt guilty for wanting to turn it off because I was going through my own things, and I knew I needed to heal. And she was going through her own things and needed to heal. And at that moment, I was learning about shielding myself, shielding my emotions. And everyone told me at the time I needed to create a shield around me. I needed to create a bubble, solid shield to protect me so those emotions couldn't come in. But I felt guilt because I felt like I was given this gift of empathy for a reason, that I should be using it, that I needed to be using this gift of empathy. Hi, Z Cop, it's so good to see you. Welcome. And through this, I had to learn that wings are my shield. Wings, like a mother hen, protect those underneath the wings. And the wings, like a bird, allow them to fly, like allow the air to blow through and allow you to soar. So it put me in control of what energy I was allowing into my life and having empathy, and it put me in control of that. At this time, I did not have that skill. I had not learned it yet, but I did learn it through this dream. And I'm going to talk about my dream now. So my process is I have the dream. I wake up and I focus on the key things that stand out to me in my dream. Write them down, make a mental note of them. Take time later to sit down and meditate on those things and the dream when you have time to be at peace with yourself and peace with the world around you. So in this dream, I'm going to have a little cup of my tea. In my dream, we were in a truck. She was in the driver's seat. Through training on dreams, one thing I've learned is that if someone else is ever in the driver's seat in your dreams, it's a key indicator that you are not in control of your emotions at that time. It's one of those universal things. You should always be driving in your dreams. And I was not. This other person was driving, and she was driving in her husband's truck. As we were driving, she was trying to figure out how to just use a stick shift. And I kept telling her, if you keep going the way you're going, we're going to fall into that cliff over there. And every time she'd do it, she'd think she was going forward and she'd go backwards. And she'd try again and think she was going forward and go backwards. And she was very frustrated and very angry. And I was trying the whole dream. I was like, no, I have to be empathetic. I have to be empathetic. And I was like, we're going to go over that cliff behind us. And we just kept going back and forth and back and forth. And eventually we did. We went off the cliff in the truck. And as we went off the cliff in the truck, we were just falling. For what seemed like an eternity, we were falling. And as we were falling, I turned and looked behind us, and in the back seat of the truck were my 3 daughters. Now, my 3 daughters were little at that. In my dream, they were little. They were grown adults at that time in life, but in my dream, they were just little girls. And as I reached to the back of the truck to wrap them up, my arms became wings, and I just wrapped them in a shield of wings. My girls kept saying, we are just so tired, we want to go home now, Mom. We are just so tired, can we go home now? This whole time the truck is still falling. And then when the truck lands, we land in this nest of my wings. And we land, though, in a pile of trash. There's trash in a giant ravine as far as we can see. And I just sit there, not knowing what's next, confused. And that's when I woke up. It's a very hard dream to talk about. As I analyzed that dream, I was like, okay, what do I need to do? I need to think about the key things in this dream. We were in her husband's truck that had passed away, very similar to my ex's truck. It's probably more similar to my ex's truck at the time than it was to her spouse's truck. She was driving. I've learned just recently learned that that's a clear evidence that I was not in control of my emotions at that time, which I was not. I was in a very dark place at that time. And looking back, I'm like, yep, that pans out. That makes sense. The other thing is that sorry, we were learning to navigate. I was trying to teach her something, and she was just frustrated with how to do that. We kept going backwards, falling, stood out to me. My girls were little. That confused me so much that my girls were little. Obviously, my wings in that dream, the trash that we landed in that dream, as well as the how tired we were, just exhaustion, my girls and I, and their desire, we want to go home, which confused me. So as we went into that, now I'm going to take you into the process of meditation. Okay, so through meditation, we're going to sit quietly. I put scents on that make me feel peaceful at home. Warm tea and honey bring me calm. Sometimes I meditate in a warm bath, or an ice bath. For me, water drowns out the noises of the world. It silences everything. Ice plunging is a beautiful gift to meditation. If you can sit in an ice bath and meditate on a dream, the clarity that will come to you while you're in there, and the time will pass. Just make sure you're within the limits of an ice bath, what they should be, and they're not too cold and you don't stay in them too long. To me, I have found that a bath is the best place to meditate, but I can't always do that. So I do like what it's now. The lights are down limb. I don't know what that means. The lights are turned down dim. There we go. Mix all my words up. I have my sage burning. I have a candle burning. So I have worked on one of the senses. Focusing in on these senses will help drown out the rest of the negativity in your mind, the chatter in your head, those stories from the past that are coming up. So that's very important that you set your environment. Don't set my environment, what I have. Set your environment, what's true to you. The second thing about it is you're going to have to go mentally ground yourself, whatever your safe place is. For me, my safe place, my mental safe place changed so many times in the process. For a long time, it was just driving in the car, the music up, the windows down, and I'm by myself in the car, just driving. That feeling of just freedom was my safe place. My safe place has also been meditatively, not for reals, floating down into the bottom of the water and just sitting, imagining the water surrounding me and that nothing can get through it. I'm in this bubble and it's drowning out all the chatter and the noise in my head. That's another safe place that I have used. That safe place was surrounded by emotions, deep, deep emotions. Actually, both of them, now that I think about it, wind and emotions and water and emotions. So one thing you're going to find is the key universal truths that are true in dreams are also true in meditation. So keep that in mind, whether you're doing scrying or you're doing, tarot, or you're doing any other type of meditation, talking boards, or you're just sitting quietly among yourself, with yourself and with your core self. It's important to know that those key truths, what comes to mind is telling you something, that there is a key, there's a trigger in it, something that's warning you, or it's a gift. It's all a gift, whether it's a trigger or it's a warning, or it's an understanding, it's intuition, it's all a gift. So those are important. So as I sit in this meditative state, I first start by opening my heart and my soul and my mind and asking the universe, and whether it's the universe you believe in or God you believe in or your belief, that's important. Remember, I said in the beginning, what's true for you, true for me may not be true for you. So sit and breathe in of what you believe in. And then picture your feet in your safe space, whatever your mental safe space is. Picture your feet there and ground yourself into the earth. And as you ground yourself into the earth, work your way up and fill your body from your legs to your core, to your heart, your mind, your fingers and your limbs, and just open to receive the truth that is coming to you. As you open yourself to this truth that's coming to you, just breathe in and let it flow. You're very loved in this space. You're very loved in all spaces, but in this space, those lies, those stories, society, what the world has told you, hold no ground here. So we just open up. And the next process is to say, I want to know what this dream was telling me. I want to understand what this is telling me. I want to know what's meant for me in this moment. So I think about the truck, right? Key thing was the truck. And I'm like, the truck symbolized the loss for both of us. A loss we were both going through at that time. And I understood that. I also understood that her driving and not me driving symbolized I was not in control. I understand that now. I understand that me trying to show her something and show her away was my empathy. Empathy is not always wanted by another person. It's not something that, especially in this situation, my empathy for her was not understood. Okay, Google, stop.
California's top casino and entertainment destination is Know Your California to Vegas connection. Play at Yamava Resort and Casino at
There goes my calming bells. Goodness gracious, casino. Sorry about that, guys. And center. Let's center again. Breathe in. I can smell my warm tea and the honey. And I'm grounding. Crocheting is a beautiful gift to quiet the mind. I absolutely agree with that one. Being creative in any way is an amazing way to quiet the mind because you're creating, you're building something. You're allowing, so gardening, crocheting, sewing, cooking. For a lot of people, it's cooking is a great way to quiet the mind. So, where was I at? Going backwards, control and my empathy. My empathy that was not being accepted, right? At that time that I was giving an empathy that was not wanted. It was not mine to give. It was not hers to receive at that time. Falling represents a risk, taking a leap. Taking is so amazing because when you look up falling, it designates finding your wings on the way down. That you've taken this leap of faith and you're finding your wings on your way down. Which, when I read that, I was like, oh, that is absolutely amazing because it's exactly what happened in my dream, right? As we're falling and I turned and looked, my girls were there and I just wrapped my wings around them. And I didn't even know I had wings at that time. Just wrapped them up in my wings. And it was just like this amazing, beautiful gift to see that that's what falling, you think falling, fear, oh no. But what's in your dreams is trying to tell you something. So look at those universal truths and see if it's true for you and what is true for you. My girls being little, while it definitely represents the vulnerability my girls were going through at that time, it can also represent your inner self, your inner child, feeling not sure where you're at that time, feeling young, feeling very vulnerable. A child in your dream usually can represent that vulnerability that we have as an inner child. In just a moment, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Inner Family Network therapy system as well and how that ties into all of this. There's so much research in the Inner Family Network therapy tied to our dreams and our dream interpretations. So we're going to get into that in a minute. So obviously the trash in the dream represents a negative emotion, something I needed to clear out, something I needed to deal with and take care of. So that's what the trash meant in there. Thank you, Todd. That's a very sweet dream. Wings are love. They are, but they're also strength. They're a beautiful strength as well. That's amazing. Well, that's to say love is a beautiful strength. It is the greatest of all of these, right? So it does make sense. In my truth, it does make sense. And then home and tired. They were very tired and they just wanted to go home. Those can be interpreted as tired is the drain, the exhaustion through the emotional turmoil I was going through at the time, and through that depression I was going through at the time, the exhaustion of it. And home is seeing need, that the basic needs weren't being met at that time, and understanding that. So through this dream, it was a terrifying dream, but there's so much truth in it. It's a gift. And for me, even though it was a nightmare, it became a gift to where I was able to open up and see these truths and start to heal from them and understand those truths and heal from them. Excuse me. I think I already did most of this. So we're going to go into the inner family network right now. The inner family network is a hard way to explain it. There's your core self. I'm going to explain it this way. There are so many circles, and they all wrap around. And I believe it's called a Mandela effect. It's not a Mandela effect. What's the flower? I'm stuck on what the flower's name is. Think what that flower's name is. So all the different circles overlap to the center of the flower, and they're all interconnected to that center of the flower. Well, the center of the flower, lotus, thank you, love. This lotus flower. So the center of the flower is you. I've been learning about consciousness too much to go to the Mandela effect. It's a little bit different. Anyway, the lotus flower. Open your mind, people. There's so much out there. Research. It's beautiful. Anyway, the lotus flower. You're the center of that flower. You are your core self. And each part of yourself throughout your life is connected to your core self. But you have to give it understanding. So one of the things that I learned in therapy was to sit in my safe place, sit in that container, and just invite all of those other parts of myself, those core selves, into that safe place. I'm going to tell you they didn't all show up at the same time. I'm sure they haven't all showed up yet. My manager was the funniest one because I told my therapist, I said, somebody's acting up because I haven't been okay. And I feel like I'm not doing enough no matter how much I'm doing. And I called a family meeting and I went to my container and I sat us all down and I was like, okay, who's not behaving? And she just looked at me and she goes, well, first of all, let's remember our safe place is safe for all of ourselves, not a place where we condemn any part of ourselves. It's open and loving. And second of all, I think your inner manager just showed up. So let's welcome her so she feels safe and see how she relates to the other people, the other parts of your core self. So in that scenario, I would say, okay, I would welcome her, welcome the inner manager. My inner manager is this person, the person with the lists, the person with the date book, the person keeping me in track. I depend on her so much. Oh, I depend on her so much. Let's give her that grace. Let's give her that welcome and that love, that understanding. The Bible talks about this in the Martha and the Mary, right? You being a Martha or you're Mary. You're both Martha and Mary. And you need to love both parts of yourself. So I welcomed her. And then she said, how is your inner child responding to your inner manager? Nurse Thomas, hi, I haven't seen you in forever. It's so good to see you. Nurse Thomas was a rescuer for me at one point in time. Saved me off a beach while I was doing a live. Welcome, I'm so glad to see you here. So our core self, or is that my inner child and my manager? And as soon as I pictured introducing my inner child to my inner manager, I could just see my inner child going, you haven't scheduled any playtime for me, and I am upset. And it was just like this wash of emotion where I realized, like, it doesn't matter how much I'm getting done if I'm not honoring all of myself, all those parts of myself, and at least acknowledging the need for play, the need for wild, the need for healing. I am always going to feel lacking. I'm always going to feel like I'm not doing enough. Why? Because what I'm doing is not healing those key parts of myself. So when I have a dream, I sit down and I say, let's take this dream I just shared with you. Falling into this pit, right? My girls, my wings, the trash. And I look at my inner child and I say, how do we feel about this? And she says to me, you really needed some love at that time, and I'm glad you found it. So she says to me. And I look at the wounded woman, and the wounded woman is like, it was a long way to climb out of that pile of trash, wasn't it? I haven't done this part before. I've done it with other dreams, not with this one. I asked my guardian. My guardian already knows. He was the wings that wrapped around me. My inner guardian is myself. It's my strength. He's been there. It's so important that we love those parts of yourself. That you love the wounded parts that you've rejected for so long. And that you love the parts of you society says are not acceptable. And that's what we learned in the Inner Family Network. That we love them, we see their need, and we see their truth. My wild self also says to my manager all the time, you have not scheduled in enough play for me as well. My wild self is like, we need to go dancing. We need to go hiking. We need to go exploring. We need to see this beautiful world. We need to get on the road. We need to travel. She says lots of things to me. So as you look at your dreams, as you take apart your dream and for understanding, know that it's a gift and it's a beautiful gift and see it as that. So as you go into your meditative state, just hold that gift in front of you and know that you're unwrapping a gift, whether it's a dream, whether it's a nightmare, whatever it is. So let's see what's next. I want to talk about a little bit about what the, let me see who it is. Oh, Psychology Today has a very interesting article. I just looked it up on Psychology Today, Inner Family Network, on dream interpretation. And some of the things they say about it is very, very important. It says, if dreams aren't to be taken literally, which sometimes they are, right? But sometimes they're not. You will need to learn to see through the camouflage. Very important. Camouflage society has created. It's like the camouflage your mind has created. See through that. See through the negativity. Open yourself up to the truth. The second thing that Psychology Today says, your conscious mind is telling you something. Know that it's telling you something, that it's giving you this gift. It says an Inner Family Network system helps you appreciate the emotions and sensitive roots of a dream. There's so much interlocking sensitivity and roots in a dream that are talking to you. And the Inner Family Network helps us understand those keys. So it's very important for that. The other thing is that our defenses, it warns you that your defenses can take control, taking away joy, spontaneity, and fulfillment. And that's something that my inner manager does. My inner manager is a defense mechanism that I have created in my subconscious. My inner manager steps in and takes control, and I start to lose joy. Doesn't mean she's bad, doesn't mean she's negative. In the Inner Family Network, it talks about different aspects. These are not all of them. It's a lot deeper dive. One key element is they talk about your firefighter, right? They come in to put out those emotions. Put them out, so that they just go away. And it's so important that we acknowledge that firefighter is coming in to protect us. But if we, as in my guardian, comes in and protects me, often. But if we are going to say, I want this understanding, I want this gift, then we have to acknowledge that firefighter, the guardian, and say, Thank them for the gift. Thank yourself for the gift of having that protection built in, and ask it to have faith in you, in your core self, and step into this with understanding, knowing that firefighter, knowing that guardian is right there at your back, ready to step up and protect you. That part of yourself, your inner child's ready to step up and play at any time. Your inner man or woman is ready to step up and take that place that they belong at any time you need them to. But you are present. You are here today. You and your core self. All these parts make us up. They're all parts of ourselves, but they are just all parts of you. It's like a beautiful interwoven tapestry or crocheting. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much for the gifts, guys. That's amazing. I appreciate that. Really do. So let's see what's next. And then I'm going to take a little bit of time and open some boxes that have come in the mail with you guys. So, and talk about a little bit of that. But we're going to finish this part first. So let's do a quick overview of dreams again, okay? You have your dream. Details. Focus on those details of the dream. Then give yourself space for understanding. Give yourself space for meditating in a safe place. Take yourself to that safe place, whatever it is for you. Allow yourself to be open. Ask for understanding from your inner family network, whatever those parts of yourself are that have shown themselves. And your core self. Focus on your core self. Remember, your core self, that is you. It's you today, you in the present, you here and now. And what is true for you. Okay? Thank you for that. Oh, thank you, Todd. Smoke is reminding you the only way out is through. That's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hi, Lindsay Love. Welcome. Welcome. You're here at the very end, but give me just a moment. I'm going to step aside for just a moment, loves, and I'm going to, where did I put it? Hold on. I got boxes. We're going to open boxes. So hold on 1 second. So, I have been busy. Can you see that? We're going to start with this one. I have so much to tell you. So, don't forget, Seeds of Tears, which is taking this process deeper, is available now on Kindle Vella. Can you guys still hear me? Because I feel like I've unplugged or something, and I'm not hearing myself. Oh, I'm farther away. That's why. Okay, so let's see what's in this one. If you go onto my profile, it'll take you to, oh good, thank you guys. It'll take you to Linktree. This is not a fun one to open. It is a fun one to open. They are book stands so that I can put my book up in different stores that only have room for just a few books for selling. But I've already have some links with them. So it's a fun one. It's exciting too. Okay, here we go. It'll take you to my Linktree. On my Linktree, you can follow me right on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X. I'm going to warn you, I don't post on X very often or Clapper very often, but I'm on there as well. Let's see what this one is. That is a lot smaller pack than I thought. This is black crinkle paper. There's more to come. I'm going to tell you why. I really expected a bigger pack than that. I think that's a pound. That doesn't feel like a pound. I tell you, pounds feel like a lot more when they're on me. That's for sure. This one here, it's all adding up. You're going to see. I think I know what this one is. This one, I did not know they made it. This is wax for wax seals, and they come in glue sticks. I always thought you had to light the little wax candle things and drip it. No, they come in glue sticks. They come in glue sticks. We're about to have a guest on here. So give it just a minute and you guys are going to get to see a guest on here. Here she is. Bee. Hey, baby. A live appearance of Honeybee's wagging tail. Honeybee. There she is. Say hi. She does not like the camera. I don't know how I'm going to make her famous if she doesn't like the camera. Hi, baby. So let's see what this one is. Oh, so on there, I do have an Amazon wish list on there as well. But the key thing I want to tell you about is at the top. Oh, I'm messing everything up. At the top of my link tree is the link to be able to pre-order A River of Tears. This is boxes. I'll give you another little clue. A lot of boxes that I will be creating specialty boxes. No, she still doesn't. I don't know why. We're working on it. Specialty boxes that will have a whole gift set in them. I'm shipping them out as with my book as what do you call them? Requests for a professional review. And those will be going out in just a couple weeks. So I'm excited about that. And let's see. Why are you hiding under my desk, Bee? She probably has to go potty. She just woke up. Oh, look at this. This is a full sticker. Right? It's so exciting. I'm going to show you. It says here not for resale because this is my draft copy. But here it is. In Dreams the Soul Cries, A River of Tears. TJ Berry. So the stone is a zestolite, and that is her name. Whether it is or isn't, that's what we're saying it is, okay? So we're just going to go on that. So I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. Something I did. Excited about it. I decided to be excited about it. I purchased 50 of my books. Right? Thank you, guys. Thank you. All of this kindness. Thank you, loves. I purchased 50 of my books to start shipping out. And then found an error on the back. They're already ordered. They're already on me. I'm doing one final look at the book, and I'm going to use those 50 books, and I'm going to be donating them to women's shelters. So hopefully other people who have found themselves in a dark there was a place and time that I wish I had picked up that book. So hi, Angry Buddha. How are you? So that's just a little sneak peek of what's coming. But remember, in my TikTok profile, you can click on my link tree. It's also on my website. Click on my link tree, and it'll take you right to the top. Is the top link will take you directly to the link to Amazon for my books. I don't know why when you search Amazon for my books right now. Hi, Gabby. How are you? When you search Amazon for my books just directly, it takes you to the book, but it doesn't show that the ebook's available for pre-order. So it will be live on July 7th. So has anyone had a chance to read? Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, love. Has anybody had a chance to read the first chapter of Seeds of Tears? If you have, just a little bit of a, did it make you cry? I don't know why I talked through it. So one of the things is that you have to, one of the things you have to, that came out wrong. One of the things of a writer, to be a good writer, and it wasn't Hemingway who said it, although Hemingway has been given credit for it, because I'm not quite sure where it came through, but through some similar. Needs to bleed on the page. I tell you what, I did more than bleed on that page. I bled, I cried, I think of, but then I don't know, poured my soul onto the pages. And so I hope you feel those emotions. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited about it. So much to come. Learning so much along the way. So many dreams. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. I cannot wait to be able to start touring. There's so much that has to happen before I can tour, but like sell my house. But as soon as I can tour, oh, look, there. Say hi. Look, she's like, she's got her tongue out at you guys. You saying hi to people there? Say hi. Also, I don't know if you know, but I have a second social media profile, and it's Wildberry and Honeybee's Adventures. The Adventures of Wildberry and Honeybee. I don't know. It has my character as my inner child, which is a little redheaded character I've created. That is the profile picture. So if you would like to see that, just message me. I will be sharing it out. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're sold, Lindsay. Oh, that's amazing. I know mine will too. I know it will. And then hopefully the universe. Hi, Bugs. Haven't seen you in forever either. Seeing so many people. I don't want to neglect to thank my mods. I know the job is really, really hard right now because we still are small, but we're gonna grow. I promise we are. I just know it. I know we're gonna grow. And but you are here, and I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you for that. And I just want to know how much I appreciate you guys for being in here and modding for me. And thank you. Listen to What's True for Me and Dreams and Meditation. And next is it's on moon energy. I believe it's on moon energy on the full moon. So we will be learning a lot about moon energy. Moon energy is beautiful. And so you know what I'm going to do? Since I didn't get into the information on space for dream interpretation, I did that on purpose. I didn't. But anyway, I'm going to make a mental notes that next week when we talk about space or talk about the moon energy, we're also going to talk about space and space, the interpretation of space of that element in our dreams. I'm going to add that into that. So planting, we're going to talk some about planting and gardening. Right. These are one of the things I'm going to have for sale on my shop as soon as I have it. It is a spell jar, and inside of it is lavender. And it is lavender from my garden that I harvest on the full moon. So there's reasons for that. There's scientific reasons for that. And thank you, love. Thank you very much. And so we're going to get deeper into that also. One thing that I'm learning is how to edit my videos when we're done here so I can post them. And I did something on YouTube last week, and I don't have that video. So hopefully I will get more and be able to share more with everybody as I learn. We're all learning together. So verify to continue. TikTok's having me put a puzzle together so I can keep going because I said I'd be on for an hour. So anyway, I just wanted to say much love to all of you guys. Know you are loved. Know that you are worth doing the work it takes. I highly recommend finding a safe place to open and allow your voice to be heard, whether it's with a therapist. Nicolette, I'm so glad to see you, love. Whether it's with a therapist or a pastor or a mentor or whatever it is that where you feel safe, I highly recommend that you find that safe place where you can open and let your voice be heard. So often in this world, we're told what we can and can't say, and that our voices need to be controlled and followed a set of rules. And know that your voice, what you have to say, is worth saying. So find a place that you feel safe saying it and keep speaking. Keep your voice heard. It's needed in this world. So I just want to give you guys all the love and hope to see you here next Thursday. Same time, 5:30 our time, where we're going to talk about gardening, and moon energy, and dream interpretations for space. So love you much. Go get the book and tell me what you think. Okay? And Dreams of Soul Cries, Seeds of Tears is available now. Much love.